Ok, donc là on vient d'arriver chez Monsoon Tactical, donc on est dans l'Ohio. Donc on est avec Vinny qui est le fondateur de la société, qui va nous expliquer un petit peu les différentes étapes du process de la customisation d'une arme. Donc en passant par l'usinage de la culasse pour la personnalisation avec la compensation du canon, de la culasse, avec les empreintes pour mettre des optiques, avec le travail qui est fait aussi au niveau de la couleur avec l'application de Cerakote ou autre, ou le travail sur le polymère avec tout ce qui est stippling personnalisé et autres. So, thank you for hosting us.
Of course, yeah, good seeing you guys again.
I appreciate that. Yeah. And if you can just explain us the different steps of the process regarding the guns customization and the story behind it.
Yeah, so my name is Vinny DeArmond. I own and operate Monsoon Tactical here in Ohio. And what we're known for is our pistol smithing and customization stuff on handguns mainly. My background, shooting-wise, is competition and just overall, you know, being a red-blooded American, you know, liking guns and stuff. So for me, as I started to shoot, guns aren't an organic thing for humans to use, and they just, engineers don't really think about what they're trying to do when they're building a gun. So I would go back through and make changes that fit me as a shooter better, and it kind of translated across to other shooters. They're like, yes, single undercut, stuff like that. So started the brand in like 2015, and then in 2019 is when I got into the industry. And then in 2021 is when I actually started my brand Monsoon Tactical with my business partner, Zach McDowell. So kind of starting in order. When people go online, they place an order with us and consult with us to get work done on their pistol. Most of the time, the first place it starts is over here in machining. So right now, if you can see, we have handful of 1911, 2011 slides in here. The one that's getting cut right now in the back corner is getting cut for an optic. Okay, so in 2025, pretty much everyone's running a red dot. So a lot of our work, machining wise, comes from doing red dot cuts and then barrel porting as well. So on this machine over here, he's actually cutting for porting. And you guys shot the Lucky 7s earlier, so that's what it's cutting right now. It's on the 4th port. See here, it's actually in there cutting away. So this is where pretty much all the machining happens. We got other machines here to help aid us with the things that we're doing. But right now we can do up to 4 slides at a time, 1 barrel at a time, and then eventually we get these finished products. I'm not sure if you have any over here or not. Okay. So we'll go over here and look. So after machining, Zane will kind of deburr, clean them up, and then take them over to Cerakoting, which is back over here. So this is where we do all of our Cerakoting. Cerakoting is probably one of the most commonly used refinishing that you see in the firearms industry. A lot of main reasons. It is the most corrosion resistant finish. It is also the most cost effective for most shops like us to be able to do. Your PVD DLC processes cost way too much money for every shop to be able to do. So this allows smaller shops like us to be able to refinish guns. It's kind of the only way too that you can get more traditional camo patterns and stuff on guns. So like we talked about, after they come from machining, they get put over here in a rack so that Taylor can come over here, pick from them. So this is a staccato, okay? Cut for our dual porting and a recut on the front sight. So this is just the slide. Conjunction with here's the barrel. So all of this is what we did to these parts from the factory. It has no porting, obviously. So this gets sent here. This is what it looks like raw. He'll come in, take these parts. He'll come over here, clean them, sandblast them, which he's not really doing right now, but that's our sandblasting cabinet, our degreasing tank and everything like that. Once all that's done, we'll go back in here. He's actually painting a dirt bike right now. So as you can see, this is Taylor. He's our main coder. You guys familiar with Poppies of War?
Yeah.
He's doing Poppies of War on a dirt bike.
Pattern.
It'll be at ORD. I want to see your view on it.
Right, it's more
the back one. Yep. So We have pretty much the exclusive rights to Poppies of War. We know the original artist who made it, and then he got with Ot Gear and all those other people. So we have the legitimate pattern to be able to put on stuff. And right now we're putting it on a dirt bike because that'll be cool. So
good reason enough.
Yeah, right now he's in the first stages of this paint job. A single base layer gets put on right now. It's in a custom mixed color, and then all of this heat rated vinyl gets cut on our plotter in the back over there, and that allows us to put down all the shapes. So right now he's got, you know, an M4, some grenades, the poppies. I think that's a Maudus.
The final version will look like that?
Yep, it'll look just like that. As a matter of fact, no, if he doesn't have one of those on there, but here's the pattern, okay? It'll eventually look like that. You guys will be at ORD, so we'll be able to, you'll be able to hand to the finished product for B-roll.
But right, if you ride it with the machine gun.
Yeah. You see, I call him French Hemsworth.
French Hemsworth?
Yeah, because, you know, he looks just like him, but...
It's my goal, is to convince Parker Mountain to let somebody ride it.
With a machine gun? Okay. Sounds super unsafe. I'm here for it. So right now he's kind of got the flowers mocked up. That'll be the very last thing that he does. But yeah, so Cerakote, this is pretty much what it is. It's paint. It's ceramic based, which means it has a two-part, the actual color itself, okay, and then gets mixed with a catalyst, which hardens it, and then it's oven cured. So from start to finish, a paint job can take anywhere between an hour to like 6 hours. Something like this, more on that 6 hour mark. So we have pretty much most of the paint that they offer in stock ready to go at any given time, because somebody might want pink, somebody might want green, both. So we got to have all that available. This is the actual booth that he paints in. Hopefully we can get you some B-roll of that before, you know, when he goes to spray, if you guys are here still. But yeah, once it goes through here, it'll go into QC, which we don't really have much of that right now, but I'll take you over to basically where it'll end up. So we'll get everything finished up, wrapped up. We'll QC everything, check all the barrels, make sure there's no burrs, make sure the paint's perfect. We have a very high standard here. Any imperfection goes back through, right? So QC ends up over here, but this was all stuff that was QC'd and is ready to go out for shipping, okay? So bodyguard that we talked about, right? We're cutting them for optics. We're the only ones right now doing that. A little tiny gun, we can put an optic on it. So there's a bunch of those. Let's see if there's anything. As a matter of fact, I think like all of these are bodyguards. Yeah. So it's been one of our most popular.
Glock slide.
Yeah, we got a Glock slide. Simple, just an optic cut. Okay. And Cerakote, burnt bronze. But after it goes through machining and paint, if it's just slide work, it'll go get shipped out to the customer. Normally we try to get that to them the next day. Okay. So the one piece we didn't cover was the stippling. All that's done over here. So to kind of go in the order of operations, say we're doing a full build, right? Machining, stippling, and Cerakote. It'll actually kind of do a couple of turnings of hands. So everything always starts over there if it's machining. It'll then, depending on the situation, come over here or go over there. This is where it starts to get a little confusing. If it's getting Cerakote and if it's a Glock, it'll come here first for prep. And what that looks like is, we'll go over here and look at it here in a second. I'm kind of taking you all over the place now. But so this is a prepped frame, ready to go to paint. Well, not quite ready to go to paint. So on this, we did our double single hybrid undercut. This is a different take on a double undercut. We just got rid of that extra feature because we feel like having a little bit more of a blend here, but still getting high up on the gun and having kind of a finger stop is what we prefer. We have a mag scallop for a little easier reach of the magazine release on the Gen 3 frames, and then the gas pedals for the guys who like to drive into the frame. left to right, use it as an index point, or if you're left-handed, you can go on each side, or if you have to switch back and forth, your profession, whatever, you can do that. That's mainly what we do on the Glocks. This is an Elite, okay? And this is a Gen 5. And the biggest difference is more up in this area here, we do what we call glove bevels. Yeah. That just allows you to get into that frame a little bit easier. Feels a little bit more natural to get to the trigger.
Specifically for weekends.
Yeah. Bigger hands, gloves. It just relieves that material to get your finger in there a little bit better. Yeah. Versus something that's more blocked off and square.
Yeah. Yeah, you
feel the difference.
You can feel the difference.
It's more natural for your kind of finger to curl around this dip than just that square block. So again, if they're coming for prep, they'll get prepped. We'll sand them to a certain finish. If it's not getting painted, which some Glocks don't, we will painstakingly sand this down to like 6,000 grit and polish it so that it looks factory. Other than that, if it's getting painted, we'll only go to like 500 grit, make sure there's no scratches, it'll get painted. And then it'll go back over to the stippling. Here's something cool to look at. You know Donovan Moore, 0.1 Tactics?
Oh! That's huge.
So that's an M&P. It's got all the Gucci shit on it.
Oh. Ça c'est porno ça.
So again, once everything's painted, we'll go back over to where we just were. Here's one that was prepped and painted and is now starting to go through the process to get cut out for stippling. Okay, so this is actually a collab we're doing with Parker Mountain. This will be at ORD. Put our logo on it, cut it out. This one's painted in tiger stripe. So I already started to cut some of my pre-existing borders to cut out to then stipple it. All of this is done by hand. So these rotary tools, it's not your daddy's Dremel, they're more professional grade rotary tools. Jewelers use them, stuff like that. This will spin, with a bit in it, up to 50,000 RPMs with no vibration. So I'm able to cut borders very easily. So I'll sit there for, I don't know, hour, 2 hours, just however long it takes me to cut that. So you can see I just cut around, and I'll keep refining that, making sure I got nice straight edges, and then when it's ready to go, I'll actually stipple it. That's done using basically hot wood burning irons or soldering irons. We have like different tips, and then when everything comes together, you end up with something like this. Okay, so this is machined, painted, and stippled.
Donc là on voit le travail qui a été fait. Hein. Ça c'est le Glock, j'ai une connerie, pardon. C'est le pistolet qui sera gagné donc sur l'ORD, il y a un challenge tous les ans, ORD 2025. Et donc avec l'usinage qui a été fait pour monter l'optique, la gravure laser, le Cerakote avec le camouflage, et ici donc le stippling avec le logo Monsoon Tactical, et on voit ici la texture particulière. Et c'est très régulier, on peut voir que c'est super bien fini, malgré le fait que ce soit fait à la main. C'est impressionnant. Impressive.
Yeah, so, 4 guys in a shop, that's kind of the flow of things. They just come in, they go through the machining, painting, stippling, end up like that, and they get shipped back out. So, but yeah, pretty simple.
Doesn't mean easy.
Yeah.
Simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you for the explanation.
Of course, of course.